playing out as Brother reads the account. You know, this guy was carnal, but then when it came to the spirit that quickened King David, that was it, man. He was a done deal before it even started.
Yeah, he like, yo, me there, yo, ready.
Any more on that?
Bored.
Yeah. And it says, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Yeah, the difference between like David and someone that's supposed to be great in this time, like Mayweather in boxing.
Yeah.
You know, he'll have that same confidence. You know, but he'll believe in himself because of the skill he has.
Yeah.
You know, David. You know, even though David was no punk.
Yeah.
Even in that time, he wasn't no punk, but he was a warrior, like other men in Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he didn't come in with that whole wealth of experience and the wealth of skills and that kind of stuff. He came just because he believed.
Yeah.
He just believed, and that's what he relied on. That was his power, his weapon. Okay, and he overcome Goliath.
Yeah.
You know?
Because even if you read the story, when he saw like Jake was all scared of his hammer, he said, who the hell is this uncircumcised guy? Is he crazy? Like, because he had read the stories of the fathers, you know, coming out of Egypt, you know, with Joshua and Caleb, you know, them spiritual times, thinking, what? Mate? If you read it, that's basically what he's saying. Like, bro, you dumb. Yeah. Who's this guy?
Why are you all scared?
Well, why are you all scared? He was like, bro, we're Israelites. We're our power's tower. Sorry? You know?
No man wants to fight him.
No,
I'll fight him then.
I'll fight him.
That's what he was saying.
And he said, I'll fight him, and I'm gonna take his head off. You know? He probably backed up the garment. You know? That's Jake, man. He was confident.
That's right.
John 3:27, John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven. So obviously in that situation, it's the Yahweh Shem Yahushua that gave him the strength, gave him the skill to defeat Goliath.
That victory.
God.
Did you have the other precept?
Romans 9, yeah. Romans 8, sorry, and verse... Yeah, this one.
Here it is.
The fire was made for us, made for us. So we're essentially proud of the Most High.
That's right. That's it. What shall we say?
Yeah, there it is, 31. Brother. What shall we say then to these things?
Yeah.
If the Most High be for us, who can be against us?
Yeah, if the Most High be for us, who can be against us? Because our strength is not in carnal things, alright? At the end of the day, the military, Esau's military, you know, Hamites and our enemies surrounding around about us, man. And the plots and scheme of things, you know. At the end of the day, who can be against us if the Heavenly Father is for us? Right? And we've seen that through former things past, man. The stories and accounts of what happened to King David and our people through their generations. How the Heavenly Father had mercy upon us and delivered us, you know. And that great deliverance is coming. That's the time of World War III that is spoken of in prophecy, and we await for that day to come.
Jump to verse 33 as well. Who shall lay anything in the charge of the Most High's elect? It is the Most High that justifies.
So like I read that part.
Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High's elect? It is the Most High that justifies.
Yeah, we justified through the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
Back in 1 Samuel chapter 17 and 46 it says, this day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the hosts of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel.
There's a God in Israel. That's alright, that's enough on the account now, because you know, you can read it. For lack of time, you can read the account yourself. But the point's been made that you know, the Lord is with us, then who can be against us? And King David, you know, established that in a great way in that account. You know?
Psalms 44 and verse 5, and it says, through thee will we push down our enemies, through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us.
Yeah. With thy name, you know, because our defense. Did you read the account with King David? Oh yeah, he did. Come in the name of the Lord, you know. So it's the name, through the name and power of our Heavenly Father that we're justified and we're strengthened thereby, man. You know. that these other nations. That's why when was it Elijah told them to get their God to consume the thing on their altar and all that, and they did all kind of witchcraft to try and get it to happen. It didn't happen, and then fire came down from heaven for the prophet and did that which he planned, man. So at the end of the day, it's the Heavenly Father that we have the name. You know, our God is the God of the living. Our power exists, man.
Talking shit to that.
He exists, but these other nations, their God don't exist, man. Go ahead.
Yep. This is 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse 27. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud.
Beautiful for Adam, because you know there's a lot of accounts and so forth that you know got to go over them to sharpen up. It's beautiful that the brother got it for you. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleepeth and must be awaked. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets till the blood gushed out upon them.
Yeah, so they're doing odious works, trying to get the fire to come and you know consume on the altar. Go ahead.
Hey, as well, it shows you that people, you know people who are into suicide and they cut themselves. Proves you they've got demons in them.
Sure.
Slicing their arms.
And it says, and it came to pass when midday was past.
It's called what's it called? To pour out. What do they call that again? There's a word for it, but it will come to me. Go ahead, bro.
And he says, and it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near.
It's a libation. The word libation means to pour out, and they're doing a demonic libation by cutting their wrists. You know.
And it says, and Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order and cut the bullock.
That's all right. The point we're making here is that you know today we're going into a couple of different accounts, and the reason why we're going into those accounts to show you, you know, with our power, who can be against us, man. All right. There's power in the name. All right, and them that believe in the name have not been confounded. That's the point we wanted to make. Yeah, go ahead.
Skipping down to verse 37. Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord, Yahweh of power, and that thou hast...
There you go. Thou art the Lord, Yahweh. All right? Not any other name under the sun are we going to be saved by. The saving name, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So you have to have faith that he's a power able to deliver you, man. All right? Through Yahweh Shai.
Sirach,
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Sirach 2 and 10, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
Yeah, did ever trust any man that trusted in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai become confounded? And that should, in your mind, make you think about all the many different accounts of the prophets. You know, Daniel, Moses. I was thinking more Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You know, because Scripture, the Apocrypha tells you fire and certain things were made for vengeance, created for vengeance. But when the king tried to hot it up and make that fire so hot that men, even his soldiers that went close, ended up dying, you know, to add more fuel to the fire, that vengeance wasn't able to be taken upon the men of the Lord because they were fortified with the name. That's why the name of the Lord is spoken of in the Scriptures as a strong tower.
And it says, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Yeah, meaning this truth is not you know, our wisdom is not going to flee away, man. Your wisdom is going to flee away. Your understanding, your exercising in carnal thoughts and carnal means to try and confound this truth and to, you know, to basically disannul what we're speaking of. It's not going to work, man, because this is always going to be manifest, man. There's nothing you can do against this. Go ahead. Is there more on that?
A second.
So you can read it again.
Yeah, verse 11. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth of sins, and saveth time of affliction, and saveth in time of affliction.
Yeah, and the Lord is suffering these devils right now. But there's an appointed time which Esau's kingdom can't pass. It tells you that in the book of Job. All right. You know, this kingdom's not going to be able to continue as it has done for many years. You know, there's a time for all things, and a time. Skip all. You can get that in Ecclesiastes, what, the 3rd chapter. You know? So this ain't going to be forever, man. Like we were saying about a military camp earlier. You know, this is a temporary thing, and Lord willing, we'll be out of here soon, man. Well, we know we're going to be out of here soon. We know we're going to be out of here soon. The scripture said. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Yep.
A time to be born and a time to die.
Jump to the point if you can.
Verse 8.
Yep.
Verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate.
Yeah.
A time of war and a time of peace.
Yeah, a time of war and a time of peace. So World War III is coming. So you see that coming. You see what's going on with Trump and Iran, and that shooting down of their drone or whatever it is. It was an unmanned one, but then what came of it? You know, US was looking to put people to death over it, so to speak, man, and fire missiles and so forth. So the tension's been there a long time. And, you know, since personally I've been in the truth, all you ever hear about is the tension of what's going between the US and their enemies, and issues between allies and so forth. We're just getting more tight, man. Like it's like a thin thread waiting to break. You know, and the Lord's the one that's controlling that thread, so to speak, that when it snaps, all hell is going to break loose. And that's something the scriptures talk about of the day of the Lord. You know, the looming gloominess that's going to befall this earth. People don't want to hear it. People don't want to accept it. But are they going to talk their way out of it? No? It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Third woe cometh quickly, man, and that's World War III. It's coming very quickly. We can tell that, you know, because the Lord left us prophecies and information on what to expect before the coming of the end will be. Right? Matthew 24 and so forth. Go ahead.
This is Joel chapter 3 and 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war.
Prepare war, man. And all these nations are preparing for war. Right? There's speaking in the news against India because of their choice to buy weapons from Russia instead of the US. You know, and there's talk about sanctions and, you know, basically deterrent from them doing them deals with Russia, and it's causing economic instability, you know, as well as military complications. You know, the relationship is, you know, very unstable between different nations.
Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
Yeah, so they would have looked at India as like, man, fuck India, man. We ain't even got to tell them, man. You know, forgive me for my bad language or whatever. But yeah, man, they're just like, look, man, who's India? But these lesser nations, they've been raised up and prepared for war over a long period of time, to where they ain't asleep anymore about who this devil is and who their common enemy is. You see? Because of that time had past. That time that they was just bowing to America has gone. Now they're in a mentality when that time of preparing for war. Go ahead.
And he says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Yeah, and that's what's happening. You see in these weaker nations or so-called third world countries, they got S-400s just like everybody else. Which the S-400 is nothing but a missile that can be fired from one end of the earth to the other and create devastation.
And how did they get them? From Russia.
Yeah. How did they get it?
That's prophecy, because in Ezekiel 38, Russia is going to be a guard unto the weaker nations. You know?
Can't. Go ahead.
Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Right, so Jehoshaphat is where the Most High's judgment is going to be, man. Jehoshaphat, Most High judgment. Alright, over in the Middle East, there's going to be a lot of dead bodies, and all the different militaries from around the world, they've been gathering there, which, you know, even the US and the British military, they've been gathering around the old Soviet Union to basically surround Russia, doing drills and training and so forth. You know, so even around the Middle East, there's a lot of tension, and you know, Israel as well. There's a lot of tension in Israel, you know, and the so-called Palestinians and so forth. There's a lot of tension right there, man. So it's going to pop off. But all that is for the thingy of our captivity, man. For the adversity of Israel, man, of Zion.
Controversy of Zion.
Controversy of Zion. That's what I was thinking. I just couldn't put it into words.
This is Isaiah chapter 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Fuel of fire, man. You know, there's a difference between the olden days and garments, you know, rolled in blood. But this one's going to be by fuel of fire, man. All right, and we quoted it earlier. You know, fire is created for vengeance, man. So people are going to see that judgment, and you know, 2 Peter's what 2 and 4, 2 and 5 tells you, you know, going back to Noah, the world was flooded. You know, the ungodly were flooded, man. But the people, the ungodly today, they're going to receive their judgment by way of fire.
Jeremiah 28 and 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're prophesying against countries of war and evil, pestilence. So this is all happening for the controversies against Zion, and you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, God willing, will be delivered. You know, hope we know what the prophecies, like the chip and the Maccabees, you know, there's certain prophecies that need to still be fulfilled. But we hasten the day, man. We want to get out of it, man. You know, so anyway, you got one more question.
This is Ezekiel chapter 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come.
It will come.
100%.
It will come.
1,000%.
Then shall they know that a prophet have been among them.
Yeah, that's it, man. The prophets are out here, man. Okay, bring you the camp of the prophets. The camp of the prophets is out here, man. Teaching this truth, man. And like I said, this word can't be reversed. It can't be combated, man.
Yeah.
Okay. All roads lead to where the scriptures say they lead to, man. You know, and this place is gonna go down exactly where it's supposed to.
You can do nothing against the truth but for it.
Yeah, that's it. I was thinking about that on the way here, actually. I was supposed to bring that up. You know, so you can be in denial, you can you know, reject it, you can do whatever you want, but it doesn't change a damn thing about what's happening, man.
That's right.
You know, so we don't give it that. So you know, we'll praise Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's right, man. We'll catch you boys on the next one, man.
Shalom.
Shalom.